Hi, welcome back to C Programming. I'm your Dr. Vasu. I'm sharing all this program in the Google Drive, and you can find the link in the description. If you want to learn more about C programming and other subjects, other topics, please do subscribe the channel. And if you like this lecture, please hit the like button. And now let us see what are these local and global variables. What are variables? Variables comes in two ways. One is a local variable, other is a global variable. Let us see what they are. Local variables inside a function, whenever you define or declare a variable inside the function, that is called a local variable. That is used only inside that function. That its value or its usage, whatever it is used, that value and that name will be confined to only to that particular function. It exists only within that function. It has no existence outside the function. Suppose we have used some x in some function 1. Same x can be used in any number of functions outside also. So whatever the function, the variable you have declared in a function, it is only to that particular function. Same name can be used in other functions also. Data sharing will not be allowed. Suppose you have given some x is equal to 10 in one function. When it comes to the second function, that x is entirely different. It won't take this value carry forward. Okay. Now, coming to the global variables, they act differently, right? They are defined outside the functions. On top of it, above all, we declare these global functions on top of the program, and they hold their values throughout the program. Suppose its value has changed in between. We have declared something and assigned some value initially, and later we have changed that value. That changed value will carry forward further, and it can be used by any function. Once you have declared a global variable on top of the program, it can be used by any function. Okay, and its value can be varied when you are using in different functions. We'll see it clearly later. It exists throughout the program. Whenever the program is in existence, that is being executed, this global variable will be in force. It is used by all the functions whenever, so generally we have, suppose some value is required in all the programs, some variable. So its value is declared once and will be used by any number of programs. With one declaration, it can be accessed by all the programs, all the functions. The value can be changed accidentally. Suppose we have to be very careful with the global variables. Why? Because suppose in some function we have used one variable and its value has changed. And we may be keeping that in mind that its value is only the initially declared value. And we may be thinking that, but by accidentally, when you used it in some function, its value might have changed. And further, it acts differently. So you have to be very careful with that. Let us see with all the examples. Now coming to this. So we have taken, let's see what our local variables are. Local variables are declared inside the function. This main is also one function. So we have declared here inside this main program. So A and B values are given, and we want to display them. Let's compile and execute. And A and B values are 100 and 200 are displayed. Normally, we know that very clearly. Now, let's see the difference. Suppose we have declared this above the main program, right? Above this main function, we have declared this on top of the program. This is called. So outside the function, we have declared. So these are called global variables. So A is given 1000, B is given 2000. Now, inside, also we have declared same variable names are used here. Same name and names are used. And here A is assigned with 100 and B assigned with 200. Because they are inside this function, we call them as local variables. These are outside global. Now, we want to print what are the actual values of AB, whether it takes this 100 and 200 or 1000, 2000. Let us see. Let's display the values of A and B. Coming to them, this local variables values are considered, not these global variables. Why? Because the local variables have the preference or preferred, whatever the local value variables are declared, its values only will be considered. Now, suppose we have taken global variables, same values are given, and here I have declared only two variables called C, D. C and D are two variables. These are local variables because they are inside the function. Now, C, I want to assign C is equal to A plus B. We haven't declared this A plus B value, A and B inside this function, but we have this as global variables. So A and B are global variables and are readily accessible by any function. So we can use them even though we have not declared here. So C is equal to A plus B and D is equal to B minus A. This is the, let us see what will be the result. Well, whether these statements are valid or not, because we haven't declared them A, B here. Okay, now let us see whether these statements will be executed or not. Compile the program and execute. So the C is equal to 3000. That means C is equal to A plus B. 1000 plus 2000, 3000 has come. And coming to D, B minus A, 2000 minus 1000, that is 1000. That means even though we have not declared here inside the main program here, these global variables what are declared here are useful and can be used anywhere. Okay, so like this. Now, let's take a variable here, a global variable. C is equal to 1000 and assigned with some value. And here, now we have declared some variables A, B, C, D. Here we have C here as global variable. Also, we have declared another variables, another same name is used here, and this will become local variable. So A, B, C, D are local variables. C value has a clash here. Let us see which one will be taken. Now, I want to add all these A, B, C and assign this to D. Now, let us see what value will be taken by the C here. So, I want to print the value of C and also the value of D here. Now, compile and execute this program. The value of C is equal to 300 instead of 1000 because it is inside the function here. This local variable is given the preference and this 300 is assigned. Next, D. D value is become 100 plus 200 plus 300, that is 600. So it has become, this C value has become obsolete. It's not useful at all because we have used the same name here inside the function. This C is only useful. Okay, so the local variables have preference here also. Now, let's take another example. Here, we have given a variable, a global variable. C is assigned with 100 and we have declared A, B, two variables inside the function. And we have declared, I want to write one function. That function name is function 1. And it uses three variables, A, B, C. Coming to this, inside we have declared only two variables, but we are using three variables. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Because C is a global variable and you can use it anywhere inside your program. That's why even though we have not declared here, we can use this C. So I would like to use C also here in my function 9. Now I want to write another function, say function 2. Here also again I want to use this A, B, C, 3 variables. Let us see how they work. So this is the main program, and let us write the function here. Function 1. This function 1 returns no value, that is void, taking 3 variables because we have to pass on 3 variables. This function works on 3 variables x, y, z. That's why you have to pass on 3 variables here, A, B, C. Okay. So this function works on 3 variables x, y, z. So we have declared another variable called sum, which is an integer. Now printf, enter the first number and scanf, right? You are reading the x value, fine, and the second value y, fine, and now sum is equal to x plus y plus c. How is it? Is it possible? We are not reading the third value c. Yes, it is possible because the value of c, that means in the third position we are passing on the value of c. The value, it is, of course, x and y are variables here, and that's why we don't have any values. That's why x and y have taken the values here. But coming to the third variable, this c is carrying a value 100. This c is already carrying a value, so we can directly use that value. Need not enter here. Now, sum is equal to x plus y plus c. Okay, so we are able to add all these 3 numbers, and the sum is declared here. We will display that value, and this is about the first function. Coming to the function 2, let us see how it is. This is again using A, B, C, 3 values, 3 variables here, and of course C is passing the value, not the variable. This is actually is carrying, third variable is carrying a value here. Now function 2 uses 3 variables and is returning nothing, that is void. And let us see how it works. Here another variable is taken, local variable, that is the result, is which is an integer variable. Here it is asking for the first number, and that is assigned to x, second number assigned to y, and the result, this variable result is taken, and all these 3 values are multiplied. X, y we have taken here, and c value, we know that this third parameter is carrying a value that is nothing but 100. This c is carrying a value, so x, y have come here, and c is known already. So we want to multiply these 3 numbers, and that is assigned to a result. Now print the result. Okay, now this is the function 2. Now let us see, compile this entire program, and now let us see the output. On execution, it asks. So here what happens, function 1 comes into force. Function 1 is executed. So function 1, this statements comes, enter the first number s. We have entered 10, and that is assigned to x. Second number, right, 20, that is assigned to y. Now see the beauty of it. The sum is equal to 130. How is it possible? Sum is equal to x 10, y 20 plus c. This 100 is taken here by c. So the value is passed on to this third position. The third position, that is carrying a value. So this c is 100. So 10 plus 20 plus 100, the result has come. Let us see the second function. Now after this, the second function is executed, and here comes the value. Now enter the first number. We have entered this one. We have entered 2. Fine. Second number 3. That means x and y values are taken here. Okay. And we know that the c is carrying a value which is 100. Now the c is okay. Now the result is x into y into c, that is 2 into 3 into 100. Right? The result is 2 into 3, 6, 6 into 100, 600. The result has come. So like this, we can use this global variable in any number of functions. Here we have used this in the main function, and also in calling these functions, we have used the C here. Okay, so the C is used in all the functions like this. That's the beauty of a global variable. Now, let us see with this what happens to this, and here we'll understand the functioning of the global variable very clearly. I'm using the same function, right? Nothing different. But here I made a small change. Instead of adding all the x plus y plus c, I want to add this x plus y and assign this value to c. Earlier in the previous program, we have added x plus y plus c and assigned to some other variable called sum. We don't have any other variable here, but this x plus y value is assigned to c here. Now, I want to display the value of c. Fine, this is first function. Coming to the second function, same thing. I have taken the result here and the same function, nothing change in this, no change at all. Same as it is, x, y values are read and x into y into c. Okay, c is carrying some value here. The third parameter is this. Okay, now this is the second function. Fine. Compile this program and execute. Now what happens? The function 1 is executed. This statement A, B, C. Okay, A is entered. It is asking for the first number 10, second number 20. Fine. Sum is 30. Okay, because we have taken this C is equal to, we are displaying the value of C. C is equal to x plus y. We are displaying the value of C. It is not 100. It is now carrying 30. Okay, the C has now become, even though we have declared initially as 100, the C has become now 30. 10 plus 20, 30. Now, further continue it. Function 2 is executed. This statement, function 2, taking 3 parameters here and calling this function. Now, xy values are to be read. X, 4, second value, 5, and 4 into 5. Fine. What happens? 4 into 5, x into y into c. 4 into 5 into c, we know that 100. Okay. So, 4 into 5 into 20 into 100, 2000. But the result is 600. Are you wondering? What happened? It's a wonderful, right? I'm wondering really, what happened to this C? Why it's not carrying 100? Because when using this C in the first function, the value of C has changed. The value of C has changed and it has now become 30 only, not 100. After this first function, we are using this second function. So by the time you have come to the second function, the value of C has changed. The first function has changed the value of C from 100 to 30. What happened? So 4 into 5 into 30 now only. This value, this C is now carrying only 30, not 100. That's why 4 into 5, 20, 20 into 30, 600. That's why so we have to be very careful in using these global variables. When they are being used in functions, there is every possibility of changing their values, and further when you are using them, you must be very careful, and you have to take 100% care in using these. There is every possibility of getting changed their values. So this is the care we have to take in the global variables. So with this, we are able to understand very clearly the local and global variables and how they function and how they are used in different functions and all. Okay, Hope you had understood this topic very well. And if you have any queries or any doubts or suggestions, please do comment, do subscribe the channel, and like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.